Hello, hello, Mr. D, or Jed, whatever you prefer to be called. I've decided to do a video presentation for my introduction assignment. Sorry, I lost words for a second. And I actually have not looked over the questions beforehand, so this will be more of an on-the-spot interview type thing. So it ought to be, I don't know, maybe a little more interesting. I don't know. My name is Andrew Barwick, probably the only guy in your class. I wouldn't be surprised. My major is early childhood and elementary education. So early childhood, and then I'm adding on elementary certification this semester. I'm a senior, and my Twitter name is @BarwickAndrew, which I just created like 3 minutes ago. I'm taking this course because I'm an early childhood major, and I was actually supposed to have taken it before I even got into the program, I think. But I was previously advised by she who shall not be named that I didn't have to take it. So I didn't take it. And now here I am a senior, and everyone's like, oh no, you do need to take that. So, what do I want to do with my life? I want to make a difference in the lives of children. I want to help them in any way that I possibly can. I want to be able to relate to them on a personal level because each child has a different story, and I just want to be there for them. I want to teach them, I want to help them learn, but I want to love them most of all. What is the funniest thing that has ever happened to me? Wow, maybe I should have looked at this beforehand. Well, it's not really like a laugh out loud thing, but it's kind of funny. When I was like 3 or 4 years old, we took a trip to the zoo. And I don't know if you've been to the zoo in Columbia, but they have a koala house there. It's just a really small little building, and it's really, really quiet. I mean, like, you could drop a pin, anyone would hear it. And they had a fire alarm on the wall that, of course, was, at a 3-year-old's arm length. And it was just a lever. So I just saw it, and being the kid that I was, I pulled it, and all chaos broke loose in the koala house at the zoo. And I guess the funniest part about it is that now if you go back there, to this day, there's a box specifically around that fire alarm. So that's because of me. What is the best place you have ever visited? Disney World's too generic. I guess I've never left the country. I want to, but I haven't left yet. So I guess the best place I've ever visited would be a beach in Alabama called Orange Beach. And probably the greatest part about it was that I went with my family and we stayed in this freaking palace. Like, it was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. We went there like 2 years ago, and I've just never stayed in a place similar to that. We stayed there for like a week, and it was amazing. I mean, the beach was beautiful. Obviously, it was the Gulf Shores, so the water was a little bit prettier than like the Atlantic coastline. But just the place that we stayed was just incomparable compared to any other place that I've stayed. If you were a food, what would you be and why? I would be a donut because I'm sweet to the very center. What is the best book you remember from childhood, and why did you like it? I really liked the Lorax when I was a kid. It's a book I've always had in my room. I love the drawings. I love all Dr. Seuss books. I've always liked Dr. Seuss. But I just liked how kind of mysterious it was, I guess. The drawings were really dark, and I like the message, the saving the environment message. And of course I love Dr. Seuss themed classrooms and things like that. And I guess I just remember reading that book a lot when I was a kid. I just remember pulling it out like before I go to bed or something and look at it. I don't know. It's just always a book that stuck with me. Who has had the greatest influence on your life and why? Well, I couldn't really narrow it down to one person. I've been more than blessed to have both of my parents in my life, and to have lived with both of them all this time. And they've been more of an influence in my life than I think I have ever given them credit for. So many kids are scarred from young ages from being in split households, and I don't even think they realize it, but subconsciously it just changes them. And the fact that my parents have always loved each other, and my parents have always loved me, and they always put each other first, which I actually think is important because some parents, I find that a lot of parents get divorced after the kids are gone because they spend all their time and energy on their kids, and then when the kids leave, it's like they don't even know each other. And my parents, they would do anything for me, but they love each other more than anything. And it's honestly been the greatest thing for me. So them, I would also have to say a couple of professors I've had at the university. I'm just going to mention Dr. Vernell Tyler. You probably know her. I had her for classroom management. I'm taking her online for lifespan and growth and development this semester, and she's just been a tremendous influence and positive force in my life. Not only did I think classroom management was such a necessary and important class, but I've just never had another professor who really seemed to have such a passion for the field and seemed to be so uplifting and encouraging and wanting to see her students succeed. I've had personal talks with her about issues that I've faced in my own personal life, and she's been there to give me advice, and I couldn't ask for more from her. She's just been such an amazing person, and also I'm interested in going into administration, and she's been an administrator, so that's a great asset for me as well. If your friends were doing this assignment for you, what would they say I needed to know about you? They would probably, depending on who the friend was, some of them would probably say that I hope they would say that I'm usually always positive. I'm never really down. Pretty extroverted. I have some introverted qualities. I can be sarcastic, but I'm usually only sarcastic when someone serves it to me first. It depends who the person is. But I guess they would say, or I hope that they would say, that I'm a nice person. I try to get my work done in a timely manner. And I love people. Free space. Tell me what else you want me to know about you as a student. Wow. Well, I would say college has been the biggest growing experience I've ever had in my life. Looking back, fall of 2015, which is when I started college, compared to now, I've never seen so much change in myself. I haven't changed my major. I came in an early childhood major, but spiritually I've changed so much. I really came to grow in my faith, my Christian faith, since I got to college. And that didn't really start till the beginning of my sophomore year. But I guess the first year I was just kind of living for myself, just kind of living for selfish ambitions. And now that I've gotten plugged in with such an amazing ministry on campus and just being able to see life for what it's really worth and who it's really worth living for, it's just made the biggest difference in my life. I would also say that I've definitely had doubts about going into this profession of teaching. It doesn't help when you have some teachers that when you tell them you're going into that field, they kind of look at you like, well, good luck, But I would say that I'm definitely fully on board. I really want to help kids. I want to help them learn. And I really just want to be there for them because so many of them don't have a positive male role model in their lives, and I want to be that for them. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm looking forward to the rest of this class. Thanks.